Alright, what's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now, this is the same day that I made the Ford video, but this is a separate video because I'm actually driving the Jeep right now. So, I don't know when I'll upload this video. I kind of want to just sit on it for a little bit. This is gonna be definitely, I don't know what's gonna happen after uploading this video. You may unsubscribe. I hope you don't, but if you do, I understand why. It's kind of emotional, I guess. Not really. I mean, I'm not gonna cry about it, but I am getting rid of the Jeep Wrangler. That's weird to say. So I've owned the Jeep a little over a year. As you heard in my last video about buying the Ford, I didn't really say I was trading the Jeep in, but I actually am trading the Jeep in for the Ford. And now people are probably like, sorry if I'm holding the camera all weird, it's got the big lens on it today, but people are maybe saying like, what the hell, why would you trade a Jeep for a truck? And people that don't like Fords, why the fuck would you trade a Jeep for a Ford? Like, what? Are you an idiot? I personally love Ford trucks. I've owned Dodge trucks. My brother owns one. His truck is awesome. I have friends that own Dodge trucks. They think they're awesome. Sorry, I'm not a big Chevy GMC guy. Nothing against them, or Toyota. Nothing against them. I prefer Ford trucks. But that's neither here nor there. So, and sorry if I'm holding the camera at a weird angle. I'm trying to like rest my arm because this damn lens is so freaking heavy. But I am trading the Jeep in for a Ford F-150. And if you want to hear more about why I bought the Ford, that's in the other video, so just watch that one. But I want this one to be about the Jeep and my experience with the Jeep. And I'll make a couple more Jeep videos. This isn't the end of the Jeep videos. This isn't the end of me owning Jeeps. So if you want to unsubscribe because I am selling the Jeep, just keep an eye out because there will be a Jeep very soon, so you'll just be subscribing again probably. But I've owned the Jeep for a little over a year. I've had a bunch of Jeeps in my life, but I never had the four-door. I never had the Unlimited. I had a JK two-door. I had 3 Cherokees. They were all lifted. I wheeled them all. Not like I've done in this Jeep. This Jeep's done a lot of things that I've never even thought I would do. So it's done a lot for me. But anyways, I owned the Jeep. 2 months after owning it, I lifted it. I did the 4-inch Evo lift. I put the best top fastback style soft top on it. I did 37s. I kept the stock wheels because I wanted to put 37s on right away, and I didn't have money for wheels at the time. And I also just I liked the look of the stock wheels, and I wasn't sure at the time if I was going to do an axle swap. So, and the lug pattern's different on like a Dana 60 full float axle versus the stock 44s. The lug pattern's different, so I was never sure. I was too indecisive to go and spend $2,000–3,000 on wheels, so I just never did it. And let's get over here. So yeah, I ran the 37s on the stock wheels with 1.5-inch spacers. I did some Evo body armor underneath. I mean, Rubicons come pretty equipped underneath, but I added oil pan skid, transmission skid, exhaust skid, just to help protect underneath, because you never know when you're four-wheeling what you'll come across. So then I did the Evo front bumper with stinger. I did the Evo rear fascia. I did the Evo tire carrier, CB radio. I mean, like all, little knickknacks. Nothing too crazy though. Nothing like over the top. Like I didn't do an axle swap. I didn't do 40s. I didn't do gears. I didn't do any of that. And if you want to watch, you can watch my other videos on it. But so right now I'm at 26,000 miles. I started putting the lift and the tires on it. I think, if I remember correctly, it was either 4,500 or 5,000 miles, but I want to say it was 5,000 miles. So I've put 21,000 miles on this setup, and it's done really well. My brother has drove my Jeep, and he had an AEV lift with 35s on his Wrangler, and he thought he couldn't believe how nice mine rode compared to his. And his was an AEV lift, which is known for riding really well. Nothing against AEV. I just think Evo springs are a little bit softer and they ride a lot nicer. And if you don't believe me, find someone that has an Evo lift or Evo springs even, and go riding it. And if not, read some reviews on them. They're really good. There's some cons to them, but overall the ride is phenomenal. My next Jeep will definitely have Evo stuff on it. So I went to Moab twice. I did, I don't know, a bunch of trails in Colorado. I did wheeling everywhere. I drove this thing all over the place. I put a lot of miles on it, a lot of fun times. I camped out of it. I've slept out of it. Being 6'1" and sleeping in this thing is not as comfortable as you think it would be. It was horrible, but I've done it. I've pretty much done everything with this Jeep. I think my biggest accomplishment was getting out of Mickey's hot tub, because I've watched videos, even when I had Cherokee, I would watch videos of Mickey's hot tub. Man, I don't know if people have the balls to do that. Like, I would never do that. I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of doing stuff outside of my comfort zone most times. And I don't know, it was like we were there and the hype of everyone hyping it up, and I was like, I bet I could do it. I bet my Jeep could do it. And I want to prove to people that I wheel my Jeep, because a lot of people think I have 37's and stock Rubicon axles, like I should be breaking stuff all the time, and I haven't. And so then people say, oh, you don't wheel. And I always comment, I'm like, go look at my videos. It's not like I wheel these hard ass trails, but I definitely wheel it. I definitely daily drive it all the time, and I've put 20,000 miles, 21,000 miles. It's not like I don't drive it. So you can't say that the setup didn't last me. Now, could I have broken stuff? Absolutely. People break stuff all the time, but people also break built stuff too. So, you know, it's pick a route and go with it. But my setup worked. It lasted me. I've got plenty of videos on it. But yeah, my Jeep, I loved it. Now, then I moved to Texas, and I didn't wheel the Jeep at all. There's one spot out here by the river. It wasn't fun at all. It was like nothing that I'm used to doing. I did drive to Moab, which was 10 hours, and we wheeled there, met up with a bunch of buddies, and we did our little Moab run. That was the most fun I've ever had wheeling. A couple of subscribers came out, a bunch of my friends from Denver, not a bunch, but you know, a couple friends from Denver, I guess you could say. And that was the most fun I've ever had with my Jeep. It was great. I drove out, Kevin drove out, like it was Kevin Rachel's first time wheeling. I really wanted to share that experience with them, and they loved it. They thought it was so much fun. And wheeling is fun because it tests your comfort zone, it tests your limits, it tests your vehicle driving skills. It's just a lot of fun. That's all it is. That's all it really comes down to. It's just a lot of fun. And when I got back, I was like, man, I want to build the Jeep. I want to go all out with it. I want to do axles. I want to do 40s. I need to do some performance mods, but I want to go all out with it. And then, you know, time went by, kept working, and I realized I didn't like driving the Jeep every day. So I started driving the Hellcat daily. And it was just a lot nicer daily to drive. It's got leather seats, it's heated, it's got navigation. Not that you need the navigation for daily driving, but I do go to Lubbock a lot because that's where Kennedy lives, and that's close to a 2-hour drive. And I took the Jeep once, and never drove the Jeep again. I was like, it's too loud inside. The wind noise from the soft top, the exhaust is really loud, the stereo's not that great, the seats are not really comfortable. But I knew this buying a Jeep Wrangler, that I didn't have any of those amenities, and I bought the Jeep Wrangler for wheeling. So this gets me to my main point, that I do not wheel enough to own the Jeep. I just don't. I don't like owning a Jeep for daily driving. Some people buy it for daily driving, and I bought mine to wheel. I bought mine to go out on the weekends and to wheel.